What is happening, everybody?
Why, hello, everybody. How are we all doing tonight?
I don't know about the RP faithful, but I am doing fantastic. That was a hell of a charge to go into Never Broken. This weekend is going to be crazy.
It was a crazy episode. I mean,
it started out crazy.
I mean, we had I think we had a combined 3 announced teams tonight. We had a brawl. I mean, God, it doesn't get any more chaotic on the go home episode of a charge before a big pay-per-view, huh?
That is, this is probably one of the most anticipated Never Brokens that we've ever had, with just everything going on. Just looking forward to this weekend. That's all I can say.
All right, let's see who is in the chats before we begin everything. We have Queen Vampirus. We have Zamore, Psycho Joe. Oh, he's back. Just Your Average Jed, Mr. Happy, Mr. Fourth Row, Rhea Rabbit, To-Do List Studios, Mick Diamond. We got a lot of talent in chat tonight, folks. And we also have Remaster One Up over on Twitch. How we all doing tonight? Hope you guys are excited to talk about this one. We have so much to talk about. And not even including Charge. We're also going to briefly touch on Ignition that's coming up this week. We have the second round coming up right before Never Broken. And, of course, we'll probably give a few predictions going into Never Broken on Saturday. So that's what
Maybe
you got.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. So that's what you got
What's
to
up,
look forward to tonight.
The newest member of the Rocky Mountain Pro commentary team,
Yeah,
Balaam Links, did a fantastic job.
One of the 3 commentary teams tonight.
Yeah.
Miss...
And look
Miss
at the hat I'm
Splinter.
rocking, by the way, too. I got the Balaam hat on, so that's...
Well, I take it we all know who you're rooting for Never Broken then?
Yeah, I thought that was already kind of known, but I'm making it obvious now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dudes and Belts Recharge Post Show here on Twitch. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop, feeling a little better than I was on Sunday, so I'll be talking a little bit more, thankfully. And boy, we got a charge to talk about, man. I mean, what a go-home episode, man. Before we get into everything that happened tonight and what's going down on Saturday, let's introduce the panel for tonight. On the left, we have the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine, the inventor of the Beacon of the Week, the one and only Coulter Crusader.
What's up, everybody? Like Johnny said, what a crazy go-home episode we had. We started out with a brawl. We ended with Remy getting what Remy deserved and getting that win. What a great go-home episode.
And on the right, we have the voice of Ignition. He is your encyclopedia of Rocky Mountain Pro. He is the one, the only Lucas Bradwell.
Hello, everybody. I am pumped up. This is probably the best mood I've been in a long time. I know you guys have seen me kind of not myself, but I am trying to get out of it. And what we've had tonight kind of got me finally back to my old self, and I am ready to talk about what is going to be a huge Never Broken and just all the madness that we saw go down here tonight.
I noticed you're looking rather up tonight. That's for sure. You're looking a lot better. All right. We're actually going to start with Lucas, as a matter of fact, because as we saw I know, did a flip on you there. Because we kind of want a little bit of insight on the situation with President Danger Dean and D'Lo Brown, because as we saw at the very beginning of this episode, all hell literally broke loose to the point where Danger Dean was actually throwing soup bones at Damon Ace, and D'Lo got a piece of him as well.
Yeah. Damon Ace really is trying everything in his power to get back at Mercury Yaden. And if it wasn't enough, bringing up his daughter Jacene, and bringing up the school and everything else that he's done, now he's taken out two of Yaden's best friends in this entire wrestling industry. The two guys that he has entrusted to kind of help him run the company. That's Danger Dean and D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown has been his mentor over the past several years. And what Damon Ace did, grabbing Danger Dean right off the start and just tossing him in the ring. And we know Dean his wrestling days are done. He physically is not able to compete in the ring anymore. His doctors told me he can't do it. He's got that bad neck and spinal cord. Damon Ace is, I don't know what he's doing. That's the president of the company, and he is attacking him. I know Dean, and Dean's not one to suspend people and do that. He kind of likes to, the wrestlers to kind of take care of business themselves. I don't know if there's going to be any repercussions, but Coastal, what we saw, but happened not only to Dean, but D'Lo Brown, a legend, who also is basically a retired wrestler. Just Damon Ace, there's no level he won't stoop to.
Apparently, Damon was upset because he wasn't on charge tonight before the Go Home episode and wanted to make his name known. I don't know. But what he did was completely uncalled for. This is just for this violence for the sake of violence. This had no point. You have Yaden's attention. As Lucas has said, you've already got Yaden's attention on a personal level. This was completely uncalled for. I used to stick up for Damon at points and say he was violently intelligent. This is just, again, violence for the sake of violence. This is something that apparently he really, really enjoys, is just making people be in pain so other people hurt too. He's a sadistic man. This is stepping over the line. Like you said, D'Lo Brown is a legend. Dean can't compete anymore like we know. Either one of these guys could have been seriously hurt by that spine buster that they both received. Again, he should get fined, but he should lose the match at Never Broken, but we can't do that to the RMP faithful. And apparently Yaden wouldn't care anyways and probably just fight him in the parking lot at this point.
Yeah, I just don't know what is going to be the end game for this, really. We don't know the stipulation of their match at Never Broken yet. I know Yaden, and we've seen what the man is capable of. We just saw on Sunday when you guys did the rewind what he's capable of. Although he did lose that match, that best out of 5 tables match, we saw what he's willing to go through, and that was several years ago. Now Yaden is even more older. And I'll let you guys on a little secret. The older you get, the more sadistic you get at times. Being a guy in his mid-40s as well, they call it middle-aged and deranged. It's a real thing. You tend to do things that you normally wouldn't do, and so you've got a more experienced Yaden than before, and a more, I believe, angry Yaden. But Damon Ace, have we ever seen somebody at the level of him besides possibly the Rocky Mountain Pro champion?
Do we have any update on President Dean and D'Lo at this time, Lucas?
We don't. I have not heard anything. I'm sure I've been trying to get a hold of Yaden, who's was going with D'Lo Brown to get checked out at the emergency room. Don't know if Dean was also with them or if he had to be checked out. So I haven't gotten word. I'm trying to get word. I will try to have an update by Ignition this Thursday for you guys.
All right, we'll definitely be looking forward to that, and also this NRW Championship match, and Never Broken, between Mercury Yaden and Damon Ace. Moving on into this episode here, got a couple packages from both Dax Draper and Curtis Cole. I'll have Coastal start this one because I know he has his feelings towards at least one individual in this contest that's coming up on Saturday.
Same MO we've seen out of Curtis Cole is straight jealousy. He was jealous of Yaden in the tag team, felt Yaden was stealing his spotlight. He wasn't getting enough credit. He turned on him. For different reasons, he was jealous that Steven Ashburn left and came back. And he actually came out on top of that one. But this is kind of what Curtis does. He feels offended when people aren't just fixated on him. And as Dak Draper said in his package, he knows what it felt like to sit there and spin his wheels. He left, he found himself, and now he warns Curtis that on Saturday, Curtis is going to find out who he is. And I have this feeling it's going to be a mark on the end of Dak Draper's boot because Curtis doesn't understand what he's done here. He has angered a man who knows what it takes to get, as he said, to be on television in multiple states. Curtis Cole could be there too, but Curtis takes the wrong way about doing things. And he's going to find out on Saturday, I believe, and he's going to get his comeuppance, Lucas. Curtis is about to catch a beating.
Yeah, and it's about due. But I will play devil's advocate. I'm going to try to be fair about this analysis, even though everyone knows my feelings about Curtis Cole. Curtis Cole cannot be underestimated. I know just how great of an athlete Dak Draper is. I know that he's probably one of the top wrestlers that isn't signed to a major company right now. He's got every accolade you can think of, but yet Curtis Cole, with everything that's been said about him, everything that we see that he does, he still is one of the best talents to ever come out of a Rocky Mountain Pro. He is a, for sure, surefire Hall of Famer. I can't take that away from him. Rocky Mountain Pro Hall of Famer. Probably I'd have to go back and look. Probably the most decorated Rocky Mountain Pro athlete besides maybe Steven Ashburn. So you know that he's capable of beating Dak Draper. Dak Draper said something very interesting about, he went off, to other states. And that's something that Dak Draper has talked a lot about, that it's good to sometimes clip your wings or to, let yourself fly and be free, not just stay in one spot. And the Rocky Mountain region is great, but there's a lot of other places out there where you can make a name for yourself and you could do some big things and get noticed. And, Curtis Cole, for whatever reason, has decided he didn't want to do that. He wanted to stay, and he thought maybe he thought that it was his responsibility to kind of be the anchor of Rocky Mountain Pro. But let's be honest, he's not always around. He's got other personal things going on, and so I kind of think it's a little bit hypocritical of Curtis Cole getting upset with Dak Draper for leaving and then wanting to come back when, just because you haven't went on and done other things in other companies, you still pick and choose when you want to be here as well. So I'm just hoping that it's finally going to come to an end with Curtis Cole just being this jerk that we see him week in and week out, and finally he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah, there's no doubt this rivalry has gotten very personal. It's gotten so personal that this match coming up at Never Broken is not just going to be any other match. It is officially going to be an I Quit match. So that should say a lot about what's at stake in this contest. No titles, no nothing, just pure dignity on the line here between Dax Draper and Curtis Cole in an I Quit match this Saturday. Boy, this next segment, boys, Lilith Grimm coming out, trying to make a statement. Basically, officially, at that point, saying that Lilith and Skylar Slice, her new tag team partner, is going to go up against JC and Noel and the Asylum. Now what happens after that, boys, Very disturbing, and definitely puts Lilith Grimm in a huge pickle going into Never Broken.
Pickle puts her in a giant hole. Salem is the master of controlling the elements, from what I've seen. I don't think he really considered Skylar as someone that would align with Lilith. So he had to take care of that problem as it came up, and we saw how that problem got taken care of. And it's just more of what Salem does. Mind games, and he controls the narrative in this situation. He gets to control who is teaming with who partners with who, how this plays out. And Salem is either a genius. There's a fine line between genius and absolute psycho. And Salem walks that very, very well. He really does. This is more of how do I get to Lilith without physically being there. Now she is in a 1-on-2 handicap match with JC and Noelle. Which, to be honestly fair, this is what she's been dealing with for 4 or 5 months now. So she should be used to this. This is basically, she has taken on the asylum by herself. A little part of me thinks this is terrible, but it's actually beneficial because now she knows the only person she can rely on is her, Lucas, is just Lilith.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very split on this. I agree with you a little bit, Coastal, that I think that now she's got to just rely on herself, which really she's been the only one to rely on over the past couple months. But I really thought that, Skylar Slice was going to be the equalizer to finally have something to combat the asylum with. And now she's been taken away by that attack. So I'm just wondering, can Lilith Grimm muster up enough? I know physically, I think she can handle it. I think she can. But can she overcome all the mental stuff she's also been having to deal with? Because she's been having to have these therapy sessions. She's been dealing with trying to battle whatever is in her head, if battling the past of being the demon and trying to get that out of her past. I'm just wondering, can she mentally stay strong enough in this match? Because I think that is what the clear advantage that the asylum has had, is the mental edge over Lilith Grimm.
Yeah, as of right now, this Saturday, it looks like is going to be a handicap match between JC and Noelle and Lilith Grimm. So things are not looking good for Lilith Grimm. Let's see what Lilith can do in this dire moment.
This is the having your back against the wall.
Literally. And it's been like that for a while, at least over the past couple months.
Mm.
So we'll see what happens. We have some Lockets action to talk about. We actually have some wrestling in this episode. We have Judy Azul going up against Lola the Adventurer. I know Coastal will definitely get a kick out of this one.
The ending of it, at least. Unfortunately for Lola, she came out on the wrong end, but we'll get there because not all is bad for Lola with this. We unfortunately have to have the law office out there, and we knew Preston was coming out. He's been coming out with Lola lately, but what we didn't count on was having these two wonderful human beings, I guess, on commentary. Now I can't even say that. We got a couple of jabronis on commentary and JK Pop. They may be the tag team champions, but I'm glad they wrestled more better than they do commentary, because if not, they'd be about 0-400. All they did was pump themselves up. They took away from a great match. Lola was in control right from the start. Her chain wrestling has gotten so much better. She is her technical ability is underappreciated in what she does in that ring. Azul is able to use her power to gain an advantage here, and this is kind of where I think the match gets overshadowed by one Caden Koyama, because as Azul is taking control, he feels he needs to go rescue Lola for whatever reason. Caden, let me give you a bit of advice. She is able to take care of herself. She's former number one contender for that women's belt. Arguably, maybe still should be because she's never really had her one-on-one match. She could take care of herself, Caden. You had no business getting in that ring. You get in there and you cost her a match. You cost her because you got her disqualified. And I am so glad that she smacked the taste out of your mouth with her forearm at the end of it, Lucas. That made my whole day. I hope she is done with the law office.
It certainly looked like she's had enough. She's had enough of the garbage. You know, she's did this little experiment with the law office to try to see if it would really kind of resurrect her career, get her back on the right track. And in some ways, it had helped, but it's kind of plateaued out. We've seen that they've done almost as much harm as they've done good, and so she's finally, I think, fed up. At least it looks like it. This maybe Caden will finally realize she wants nothing to do with him and leave that alone. As far as those two on commentary, listen, Caden Koyama is excellent on commentary, but when you get the two of them together, they all they want to do is talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And so it makes it makes for it would be like if all me and Derek Stone did was talk about all of our mental issues. It's just no one wants to hear it. So no one wants to hear those two just pump up themselves all day. So I'm just glad that maybe finally Lola has woke up, put the law office behind her, and now what is Preston gonna do for another gig? Is he gonna try to get another client because he just lost a little business? It looks like.
Well, I will say this, after everything that happened tonight on this episode of Charged, how does this look for J.K. Pop and especially Caden Koyama going into their tag team championship match at Never Broken against La Isla?
He better be focused, and right now they don't look too focused.
It seems like Caden's got other things on his mind right now.
And I don't know if you guys noticed also, Casanova, when Caden left the commentary table, Casanova made a kind of a comment. Basically, what are you leaving me for Lola? It seems like there is a little fracture. A little bit of a fracture between the two. I don't know if I'm maybe reading a little bit too much into it, but I think that there is probably more issues than what they're leading on as far as their personal relationship that they've had. I don't know if they've grown apart a little bit, but I don't know that they're as close as they used to be.
Well, those boys need to figure it out because they have a very angry and very determined La Isla breathing down their necks at Never Broken.
That's for sure.
Chomping at the bit for those tag team championships, which you will see this Saturday, La Isla going up against J.K. Pop for the tag team championships. Now, let's talk about your commentary buddy, Derek Stone.
Yeah.
In this next segment, the OGs were backstage discussing about possibly what's going to happen this Saturday and what their game plan is. Because if you recall, last week they lost that very important tag team match to Your Style Lineup, and now Your Style Lineup has an advantage of some sort going into Never Broken. What are your guys' thoughts on this situation? And as a matter of fact, we'll squeeze that in to the confrontation between Your Style Lineup and the OGs right after that.
So Derek Stone is he's very informative, I must say. I'm glad now that I know October is Prostate Awareness Month. That was informative. Thank you, Derek, for that. So that leads me into what I said next, because your starting lineup is ready. I saw these boys come out. They have swagger. They are good to go. And all I've seen the OGs do is question themselves and question Derek if they're all on the same page. That leads me into what happened in the ring, where your starting lineup lays it all out on there. They lay out why they're a better tag team, what they bring to the division, and what's going to happen on Saturday. We might have got to hear from the OGs if they hadn't got knocked out by their own tag team partner along with your starting lineup. Derek Stone appears not to be in this match on Saturday, but has made his presence known mentally and physically now in this leading up to the match. I think he is going to play a large role on Saturday in some aspect. Will it help the OGs? Will it hurt the OGs? I really don't know, Lucas. You know him better than any of us. What is going on with our buddy Derek?
Well, you definitely couldn't tell tonight after he laid out all 4 competitors in the match on Saturday.
You know, I'm going to blame it on the wine that he drank. You know, he just swagged that wine. We'll blame it on the wine. And also, you know, he last Thursday on Ignition, he gave me crap for being a lush and wanting Niles Planquet's wine, and he goes and drinks the whole damn glass. So he better bring some on Thursday. That's all I got to say. But anyways, in all seriousness, there is something wrong with Derek. He's obviously kind of at times is not with us. You know what I'm saying? His mind is wandering. He's, you know, talking to inanimate objects again. He's got Maxine is back in his life. You know, he claims to see leprechauns and pixies and all kinds of magical creatures, and I don't think that he is focused on what is at stake here at Never Broken. I don't think he realizes that this is big for the careers of everyone involved, including himself. I think that him being with the OGs is still good for his career. For him as being in the business as long as he has been, 30 plus years, and he you know, has found a group that he's got something in common with, that they've got a lot of experience as well. They can relate to each other. I think it's a good thing for everyone involved. So if they split up, it's going to be detrimental, I believe, to everyone's career. And then on the same hand, it looks like your starting lineup, they realize it. They're totally focused, like Coastal said. They're ready to go. But if the OGs can't, boy, I don't know what that means for those 3 individuals if they split up. I just don't know where it goes from there. Derek Stone is kind of, I think he's in need of having some friends that can kind of help him along the way, because he's not always with it. He can be difficult to talk to at times. I know that.
He's one of the guys where you play cards with him. His poker is Texas Hold'em, and the how to play cards are wild.
So, curious. Because Derek Stone's not normally like this when he's on commentary with you. Is it something about the OGs that puts him in that state? Or does it happen at random times?
It happens at random times. Maybe the OGs are triggering it a little bit more, but I've noticed, and I try not to make too big of a deal out of it, but if you guys listen really close, he says some things on commentary sometimes that I think sneaks by because I no sell it, but he says some things that are a little odd, and I try to get him focused even before we go on air on the pre-show, make sure that everything's good to go, because you know, I'll be honest, he's been a great friend over the past several weeks. Everything that's happened to me, he's really helped me, and so I'm trying to look out after him. He, you know, we kind of got off on the wrong foot when he first started on commentary, but we've really kind of gotten along over the past several weeks, and I hope for his sake that everything is going to be okay, and that he can continue to do what he's done throughout his career, and that's just be entertaining and very successful.
I kind of wish we could have Hard Knocks, the OGs. You know that Hard Knocks show on HBO where they hang out with like the teams? We need a Hard Knocks OGs where that day, Saturday, they just hang out with them all day. I want to see how they prep for this match.
That would be excellent.
Very curious. I also want to bring up your side and lineup. I think this is this their first in-ring promo time on the mic?
I believe so, without Coach,
Yeah, and Briscoe, man. That boy's got some lips.
Yeah, I thought they both carried themselves very well on the mic. I even thought, I
agree.
Kendrick LaRoe he has his own style that he kind of delivers, his own kind of swagger, as you notice. And and Briscoe just is natural at it. And I think they're both, you're seeing the confidence and you're seeing the growth of both of them, not only in the ring but on the mic as well. It's and just as stars, you're seeing the growth. It's great to see.
I was about to say, I think you're starting to see a couple of young men starting to become young superstars before your eyes here, folks.
Yes.
They're starting to really come along. All right. Before we continue on, we do got a couple matches to talk about here. And of course, Never Broken on Saturday, you will see the OGs going up against your starting lineup, where the loser of this match, the team will officially be disbanded by way of El Presidente Danger Dean in that stipulation in this huge elimination tournament. Reversed. So if you win, you're out of the tournament. It's been going on for the past few weeks. These are the last two teams in the tournament. The loser technically stays in the tournament, but that team gets disbanded. So it was definitely a cool tournament to kind of just watch and enjoy throughout the past month and a half or so of these episodes. And I believe from the count, we had the Three Ring Circus, West Texas Legacy, Kansas City Luchas, all moving on. Obviously, JK Pop and La Isla have their tag team championship match on Saturday. And yeah, your starting lineup and the OGs are the last two remaining in this tournament. So should be a very exciting match to watch. And we don't know the advantage of your starting lineup just yet. We won't find out until Saturday night. Before we continue on, of course, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. And make sure that you are subscribed to the Rocky Mountain Pro YouTube channel so you guys don't miss a single episode of Dudes and Belts, Rocky Mountain Pro Charge, which we are talking about tonight, and the live interactive show Ignition that's on Thursday nights at 6:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up this Thursday as well in the Grand Prix tournament. So stay tuned for that and a few predictions on Saturday. All right. Moving on. CBD versus Bruce Wayans. But we also need to talk about what Atiba said before this match. And at the end of this, we need to talk about the stipulation, boys, and what this is going to entail.
Yeah.
So, Coastal, go right ahead, sir.
No, we'll start with what Atiba said before. And it's more of the same verbal diarrhea he's been spewing for months now. And to me, it's as similar as the Curtis Cole effect. It's jealousy. Atiba is upset because while he's winning, he is still about as popular as Mumps in Denver right now. The crowd's not with him, and it's because the way he's taking this out. He's trying to convince Bruce. The reason that Bruce is on this losing streak is because of his faith in the RMP faithful, and he needs to put that behind him and cheat to win. No, Bruce is on a bit of a losing streak right now because he literally had the daylights beaten out of him by a psychopath that is now your champion back in October. That takes a little bit to recover from. And he's starting to get back on that way, and Atiba has actually hindered this in my mind. That whole time that Bruce spent with Atiba, even though after he said he was leaving, and I understand, Bruce, you should have honored the commitment, but you know what? A little part of me is glad you're still here because I really think on Saturday you were going to lay into Atiba because tonight, as you say, you came in and you dressed Atiba, and then you addressed Carlton, as you called CDB. And I had to laugh at that. You're doing your little Carlton dance at the beginning. But you come out here all over him, and it is a joy to watch Bruce wrestle when Bruce is happy and in the right mental mindset. And he really is right now, honestly. Tonight gets destroyed by Atiba multiple times, who was out on commentary. And I think that is the downfall here. It absolutely is. CBD did get some offense in, but a lot of it was coming off of when Atiba was distracting Bruce. Other than that, this was Bruce's match the whole way. Hits a second rope superstar elbow, and then he's going to try and continue to go to work and get a win. And Atiba jumps up, distracts him. Bruce gets rolled up. CDB puts his feet on the top rope. If there was a fourth rope, he probably would have got up that high too. He was almost jumped over the ropes to put his legs up there. This is just garbage. I don't really think this is a loss we can put on Bruce. This is 100% Atiba influence, Lucas. This is only going to hurt Atiba on Saturday, because I'll tell you what, with a stipulation like the loser has to be subservient to the winner for 30 days, Bruce ain't going to be subservient to anybody.
No, that's not in Bruce's personality whatsoever. Bruce is the boss. That's literally his name, the final boss. So for him to be subservient, that's just absolutely ridiculous. That he's ready for this match. I think he's tired of Atiba's crap. I think he's finally tired of Atiba's crap. I think he tried to make this work, but I'm wondering. There's a part of me that wonders if Atiba was ever genuine about this kind of partnership in the first place. I don't think so. I think this was this whole thing was kind of a way to humiliate Bruce Wayne's. I think this is just Atiba's new personality, just being even more of a jerk. I don't know if he's jealous of Bruce Wayne's Coastal. I don't think he cares about what the fans think of him. I really don't. What I think that he kind of is upset about is that people look at Bruce Wayne's right now as the bigger star in Rocky Mountain Pro. I think that's what bothers him. Even though, Atiba has more Rocky Mountain Pro titles and has the distinction of being the youngest Rocky Mountain Pro champion of all time. I think a lot of people look at what Bruce Wayne's has done over the past couple of years, being a charge champion, being the Rocky Mountain Pro champion. Was basically, I believe last year was he not the superstar of the year? Not this past year, but in 2021, Didn't you guys vote him as the superstar of the year?
I do believe
that was this year. That was this year.
Okay. Yeah, so superstar of the year, Bruce Wayne's. So I think those are the things that bother Atiba. I think that's what bothers Atiba is that even though Bruce Wayne's lost the title, I think people still look at him as a bigger star than Atiba, and that's I believe what all this is about. And I think Atiba has tried to humiliate Bruce Wayne's. And he's going to try to do that by beating him and then making him subservient. I just don't see it happening. There's no way in hell that Bruce Wayne is going to allow himself to lose this match. I cannot see it.
All right. Stipulation of loser becomes subservient to the other. What's your take on this? It's a very different stipulation. I
believe the first time I ever saw something like this, I think was, Aggression era WWE, and it's always one of those things where it's the two most prideful guys you've ever seen in your life. Now, this is going to go two very different ways. As we found out tonight, Atiba has some tasks he would like the boss to perform for him, and they're very degrading. I honestly think that if Boss wins this, it's not going to be Atiba cleaning Boss's toilets or taking care of his laundry. I think Boss is going to set him up with some pretty fun matches, probably no holds barred against Damon Ace, and maybe he'll throw him in there against Mario Vanger. He'll really help Atiba succeed and get some good win-losses in there, I think.
I shudder to think what either man is going to have in store for the other if whoever wins. It's because I think both are kind of sick of one another. But I really do. I think we've seen that, and so if Atiba wins, though, let's just think about it. If somehow Atiba beats Bruce Waynes, what kind of degrading things would he make Bruce do? And would Bruce do it? I mean, he'd have to contractually, but he's
to be
went
fair,
against
Bruce
his.
did say he was going to retire.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of where I was getting at. He said he was going to retire, didn't do that. Would Bruce just be like, "No, I'm not doing it. Hell, I'll walk away." I don't know. This is a very interesting situation. This is going to be some very interesting and all of a sudden this becomes one of the most anticipated matches at Never Broken, which we didn't even think was going to happen a week ago.
First off, if Brucey walked away, this wouldn't have happened. That's numero uno. Should have kept his word from the get-go.
That is a true statement.
Number two, who knows what Atiba has in store for Bruce if he does beat Bruce Waynes. Maybe this is going to be another way to try and get under Bruce's skin to get him to go down the path of Atiba.
Right, because he would have to.
He would have to do the stuff that Atiba does. And if Atiba says, use the bat, Bruce can't say no. You know what I mean? So who knows? But we will find that out on Saturday. What happens in that situation? Because again, Atiba going up against Bruce Waynes, where the loser becomes the subservient of the other for 30 days, I believe, right? Correct?
30 days, yes.
All right. And our main event of the evening, which also has a match implication on Saturday, we had Manny Lemons and Rekka Tahaka going up against your charge champion, Remy D, in a handicap match right before Never Broken. Your thoughts on this one?
Let's face it, this wasn't a match that Manny wanted to win. This was a way that Manny and Rekka could get some licks in on Remy before Saturday in that charge championship match. Neither one of these two are stupid. They understand what they were going to get into. They knew that Remy was going to come out like a house of fire. I didn't expect Remy to come out with no dancing, no gunshots, nothing. Just on the apron, ready to go and tease off on Manny as soon as that bell rings. This is what Remy does differently that people don't understand. Remy is about the flash, the glam, the glitz, until you really piss Remy off. Then Remy is about taking out a pound of flesh on you, and the focus meter goes way up. That's the difference right there. That's what separates primetime players from people who just think they're primetime, is that switch that Remy throws. Remy threw it at Milestone and won the charge title and has not been beat for that title since. Coming up on almost a year. It's getting very close. And tonight, even though Rekka hits a low blow and they do everything they can, Remy is still able to walk out with a W. Remy's able to take that jacket back physically. I'm telling you, Manny, even Rekka's not going to help you on Saturday. Pay-per-view Remy is a different Remy.
Yeah, you're going to see big match Remy, that's for sure. I think the mistake that Manny and Rekka made was when they decided they were going to take Remy's gear. I don't think they realized what they were doing. That was just probably that's the most disrespectful thing you can do to someone like Remy, who takes so much pride.
Real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt,
Go ahead.
But Derek Stone just wants to clarify that October is Prostate Awareness Month.
Yes, we do know that, Derek, because you said that earlier on
Quite
Charge.
informative. Thank you, Derek.
Yes, one thing we know about Derek Stone, he cares about the well-being of others, and so I appreciate that, Derek.
Well, we saw that in the ladder match last week. He didn't want his friends to get hurt.
Yes, and had the cost of the match in the process, but I already talked to him about that as well. So,
I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay, so what I was saying was the most disrespectful thing you can do to Remy is take his gear, something that he takes so much pride in. That's a part of who he is. And I don't know if Manny Lemons understood. I think he thought, oh, I'll get under his skin, and then this is a way I can get into the Charge title picture. But what he did was just now the beast came out of the beauty. And he has brought this upon himself. Reka Tahaka has brought this upon them, because now you're going to see what Remy is all about. When the big match Remy at a pay-per-view, we know just how good he is. Manny Lemons and Reka are going to witness this firsthand at Never Broken. They made a mistake, big time mistake.
All right. And once again, Manny Lemons versus Remy D for the Charge Championship and Never Broken this Saturday night. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude the Go Home episode of Rocky Mountain Pro Charge. Do you have any final thoughts on this episode before we get into everything that we have to talk about? Because we got a big ignition on Thursday, and of course, we're going to talk a little bit about Never Broken real quick before we sign off.
I'm just so excited for Saturday. It's something. This really is all of a sudden just built to a fever pitch in about the last 6 days, 7 days. We're getting new matches. We're getting matches we didn't even think we were going to see 2 weeks ago. This is going to be an awesome pay-per-view.
Yeah, this, like I said earlier, this is one of the most highly anticipated pay-per-views, especially Never Broken, that we've had, that I can remember. With just every match has this level of intensity that it has gotten personal on so many levels in a lot of matches. It's just so much that is going on, so much to be anticipated. Never Broken. I don't know if we even have enough. We have enough reinforcements for everything that's going to go on at the Wimmer on Saturday. And cheap plug, really quick, guys. If you want to get more in-depth analysis from myself on all the matches from Never Broken, I just recorded a RMP radio episode with Mr. Fourth Row that is available. It's our Never Broken preview. We talked for almost an hour about the matches, going to in-depth, so you can get my more in-depth on my thoughts about each match. So that's available on social media. I will be posting that on my Twitter account, my Facebook. So look for that.
Why don't you go shout that out real quick before we begin?
Yeah. So if you follow me on Twitter, it's at Lucas TRMP Voice. I will be posting that here very soon, and then you can also follow me on Facebook, just at Lucas Bradwell. So I will be posting that here within the next hour. I know Mr. Fourth Row. If any of you follow him, he's already posted that on various platforms. So
he just
is
said
out
in
there.
chat it's out now.
Yeah, it is out now. So you can download it wherever you download any podcast. I know that he uses
something for
Podcast
this. Hold
Bean.
I have something, Lucas.
You can hear Rocky Mountain RMP Radio on Anchor, Breaker, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to your podcast mediums.
It's been a while since you've done it, so
yeah, it's a little bit. The disclaimer is good too, but we'll get to the disclaimer later.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no secret. Never Broken this Saturday night at the Wimmer Arena. Doors open at 6 p.m. for VIP matches, and those start at 6:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is also the same time for the pre-show here on YouTube. So make sure, if you're not in the Denver area, first off, if you're in the Denver area, go get your goddamn tickets now and go witness a fantastic pay-per-view event of Never Broken at the Wimmer Arena at 2170 West Yale Avenue in Inglewood, Colorado. You need to go that. Yeah, see, there you go. I'm adding every single pay-per-view. We're adding a little flair to it, okay? 6:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. is where the pre-show will happen, is where the VIPs will happen.
And I'll be hosting
VIP
that pre-show,
matches.
by the way. So
Yes, you will be able to hear this man right here that you're looking at right now on the pre-show with a partner of his choosing. I'm assuming it could be Derek Stone. It could be an RMP talent somewhere.
Who I may have. And Derek may be a little preoccupied. Maybe I'll even get my my little brother Brew out there for. We'll see.
Well, Jesus, if you get Caden, can we keep Casanova as far away as possible?
Right. Well, yeah, Caden's going to have way too much to deal with that night, so I won't even attempt to get him. We'll leave hey, maybe even Mr. Fourth Row, who knows.
Yeah, there you go. And then of course, general admission will open at 6:45 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with the official bell time of Never Broken starting at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, if you're in the Denver area, that's when it's going to start, Never Broken at 7 p.m. Or if you're not, which I know a lot of our fan base is probably not in the Denver area at that moment, make sure you tune into Fite.tv or FiteTV.com/Rocky Mountain Pro, whatever the link is. It's in the description. So if you haven't pre-ordered Never Broken yet, after this video, or I think in just about every other video that RMP has posted in the past, 6 to 12 months or whatever, that fight link has always been down there. So after you're done watching the show, go down to the fight link in the description below, click it. A couple more clicks there. You have Never Broken ordered, ready to go for when it goes live at 7 p.m. It is a live stream as well on Fite, so you'll be seeing everything live as it happens. So make sure you tune in at 7 p.m. or wherever you are around the country or the world in your respective time zones. We also need to talk about charge tapings. This is not going to be aired on YouTube, of course, because it's charge tapings. We don't want to give secrets out. So, if you're in the Denver area, I believe doors open at 4:30 at the Wimmer, when the events will actually start at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Sunday, March 12th. And for this whole entire event, it is free to the public. So if you're in the Denver area and you have nothing to do and you want to watch some action-packed wrestling, go to the Wimmer Arena. Again, 2170 West Yale Avenue in Inglewood, Colorado. And go check out RMP Live and actually watch their charge tapings as it happens, because those tapings lead up right into every Tuesday on Charge.
And don't forget, guys, we turn the clocks ahead on Sunday, so it's going to be an hour earlier for everybody, too.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, we turn the clocks ahead.
You're going to lose an hour of sleep, Johnny.
So we have to stay up very late for Never Broken. We're going to make sure we have everything logged in, ready to go for Sunday. And on top of that, we lose an hour sleep. The boys are going to be very cranky on Sunday.
Triple I is going to be super cranky.
Yeah.
This is why they invented energy drinks, guys. This is so get juiced up. We got a big weekend.
We got to get extra large dunks.
And on Sunday as well, for all you guys that watch us every Sunday for the Rocky Mountain Pro Rewind, this Sunday we will be doing a special Dudes and Belts Recharge episode specifically for Never Broken, as we are going to be reviewing the entire show on Sunday. So, and we're going to have everybody on hand for that as well. So it should be a fun, energized night, let's say. Even though we're going to lose an hour of sleep, we're still going to be amped up, getting ready to review this show, and we can't wait for Sunday, that's for sure. Now, there's one other event and one other show that we have to talk about before we really get into Never Broken. Actually, two events. First one is Rumble at the Loud House, which is the day before Never Broken. If you're in the Denver area and you want to watch the Rocky Mountain Pro performers wrestle live in front of, let's say 8,000 to 10,000 people at the Ball Arena, make sure you purchase your tickets to the Colorado Mammoth, as they will be playing a matinee game, I do believe. I don't know the opponents because I'm not a lacrosse guy, but I think Lucas can give you a little bit more information on the lacrosse
Yeah,
team.
honestly, I don't remember if they're playing the same team they did last year, the Seals, or to be honest with you guys, I don't remember. I wish I was a bigger lacrosse fan, but I do have a great time going out there. One thing I can tell you that's also going to be going on there at the Ball Arena, besides being able to watch the lacrosse game and being able to see wrestling afterwards, there also is going to be a meet and greet opportunity with Vince Russo and Sin Bodhi. So for everyone that's going to be out there, they're going to be kind of the main people as well as all the Rocky Mountain Pro talent. But yeah, there's going to be a special meet and greet and Q&A with Vince Russo and Sin Bodhi. So that will also be something to look forward to. And Yaden says it, the Calgary Roughnecks. So that is the opponent of the Colorado Mammoth.
All right, so like Lucas was saying before, RMP has an extremely busy week coming up here. Rumble, well, we can't even get into that because first there's still another event before that, and that's Ignition that airs on YouTube every week, starting at 6:15 Mountain Standard Time on Thursday. Just started the Grand Prix tournament, ladies and gentlemen. First round has been concluded, and we have our second round matchups all squared and ready to go for this Thursday. In case you guys missed it, or if you guys don't remember the matchups here, this is the bracket that we have for this week's matches. On the left side, we have Damon Ace going up against Bruce Wayans, a rematch from Aces Wild to kick everything off. And then on the bottom half of the bracket, we have Briscoe Crown, the bracket buster himself. Actually pulled up probably another upset of the first round last week against Ramrock, as he goes up against one half of your tag team champions, Caden Koyama. And then on the right side of the bracket, we have, this is going to be a very interesting one too, because it is 2 days before they have to go up against the tag team champions. We have La Isla, we have Balaam Lynx going one-on-one with his partner Echo. And on the bottom half of the bracket, we have Kendrick LaRoe, the other half of your Stein lineup, going up against Big Teebs Atiba. I believe every single person in this second round has a match at Never Broken as well.
I would be amazed if JK Pop did not have front row seats for the Balaam and Echo match.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll be there for sure. No doubt about it. They're gonna probably try to get involved some way, somehow, or try to instigate something. They definitely are going to have something planned. So many interesting matchups. Just looking at that second round, Damon Ace and Bruce Wayans, as you said, that's a rematch from Aces Wild. We know the long history between those two, and everything that Bruce Wayans is going through right now, and Damon Ace, he's got Mercury Yaden on the horizon, but got to deal with Bruce Wayans on Ignition. And then you talked about Briscoe Crown, an improbable win with as bad as his ankle is, beating Ramrock last week. But this is not a good situation for him because Caden Koyama, we know, is one of the kings at taking advantage of an injury and an opportunity. He's absolutely brilliant at picking a body part and going after it. Now that he's got an ankle that he can target, this isn't good news for Briscoe Crown. It isn't good news for your starting lineup having to save their tag team partnership at Never Broken. This is a really bad situation.
So who's moving on to the semifinals?
Go ahead, Coastal.
Honestly, I gotta go Damon Ace, Briscoe, Echo, and Atiba.
Wow. So I'm gonna go almost completely opposite, just about. I think Bruce Wayans is gonna pull off the big upset over Damon Ace. I think Caden Koyama is going to be too much for Briscoe Crown with that injury, and so you're going to have Bruce versus Caden in the semifinals on one side, and on the other side, I think my guy Balaam Lynx is going to get the best of his tag team partner Echo, and he is going to go on to face the big man from the Bayou, Kendrick LaRoe, and that is going to be your semifinals.
My thoughts, I think Damon Ace is going to be on top of Bruce Wayne's. I think Briscoe is going to go over Caden Koyama just based off of the fact of what we saw this past episode here. Caden's kind of not with it right now. He's not focused where he should be. That might hurt him on Thursday and possibly Saturday. I actually have the upset going to Kendrick LaRoe over Atiba in this matchup. And, of course, La Isla is a pick-em for me. But if I had to pick, I'm going with my boy Echo. So, that's my semifinals. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a few predictions on Saturday. So we have, actually, let's start off with Atiba versus Bruce Wayne. Who's winning this match?
Bruce.
Yeah, but Bruce has to win. For me, this is a must-win for Bruce Wayne's. For just himself. I just don't see him losing this.
Okay. How about your NRW Championship match? Mercury Yaden versus Damon freaking Ace. After what we just saw tonight.
I'm going to take Yaden because, like I said, I really think that Damon is just trying to just get under Yaden's skin just for the sake of getting under his skin. I think this is the one time Damon actually doesn't have a motive for why he's being as violent and as sadistic as the way he is. I think he's just doing it for enjoyment. And I think that's going to bite him in the butt. Because I really think that Yaden will be ultra focused. We talk about big match Remy. Yaden comes to play whenever it's pay-per-view time too.
Well, we didn't agree on the Grand Prix tournament, but we are agreeing on these matches so far. I've got Yaden. I know how dangerous Damon Ace is. I know all that, but Yaden has been pushed too far by Damon Ace. I think this little act that we saw tonight out of Damon going after both D'Lo and Dean, I think is pushed over the edge, and Yaden is there's no way he is not going to let Damon Ace walk out of this match.
All right. Are we going to see, after over 2 years, are we going to see new tag team champions?
I believe so, yes. I am picking La Isla. JK Pop's not focused. Caden's not focused. He's got too much other stuff on his mind, mainly Lola. This is going to be their downfall.
I'm picking JK Pop. No, I'm kidding.
You were about to get muted right there. There you go. You were about to get muted.
So, yes, La Isla.
Speaking of tag teams, OGs versus your style lineup. Which team is disbanding on Saturday?
Briscoe's ankle worries me, but I think the big man's going to carry the load, and I think the OGs are going to end up having to go their separate ways.
So we're finally going to disagree on one match. I just think the experience of the OGs, I think they're going to finally get it together. I think Derek Stone's going to finally
he's going to be the catalyst of this match. He's going to be the biggest catalyst on the outcome of this match.
I agree. I'm wondering. I know that Derek Stone is a smart guy underneath all that crazy stuff he says. I know he is. So I think that he might be pulling something here, and it's going to benefit his guys, the OGs, and the OGs are going to walk out as still a tag team. And unfortunately, we're not going to see your starting lineup as a tag team anymore, but maybe that'll be a good thing for both of them because they seem to be having a great start to singles careers. So that's my prediction.
I Quit match. Curtis Cole versus Dax Draper.
Dak Draper. I just think he has the size advantage, the reach, and honestly, the longer this match is going to go, the more it's going to favor Dak with his strength advantage. I know Curtis is one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated person in Rocky Mountain Pro, multiple-time champion. I understand his ability. I do not respect that. I just think that the way he has angered Dak and how just the overall size advantage is going to play in more than people realize.
Yeah, I've got Dak all the way in this. I've like you said, I respect what Curtis Cole has done in Rocky Mountain Pro, but Dak, I believe, is on another level, and he can get violent. I've seen him in some very violent matches before, and he is capable of taking it to that level in this I Quit match.
What is Lilith going to do when she has to go up against the Asylum and JC and Noel?
With all due respect to Lilith, I'm taking the Asylum because they haven't been beat yet.
Yeah, I've got to go with that. I think this is just a little too much, even for someone like Lilith Grimm. I know she's as strong and as tough as anyone that we have in Rocky Mountain Pro, man or woman, but that's just a little too much to ask.
And two more for you boys. Will we have a new charge champion in Manny Lemons, or is Remy D going to retain and stay beautiful and gorgeous all the way through to the rest of 2023, or at the very least Milestone?
Oh, Remy's walking out with that title. There is no way that Manny makes lemonade out of this situation that he has put himself in. If he's not careful, he's going to end up being a weapon when Remy picks him up to hit Rekka with if Rekka gets involved. Remy is walking out with your charge title, and still.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Remy has been pissed off to an extent that and I don't care if you throw Rekka in the ring at the same time with Manny and make it another handicap match. Remy's walking out with the charge championship.
And of course, finally, ladies and gentlemen, will the horror story conclude, or will it continue to wreak havoc on the locker room of Rocky Mountain Pro as David Drake goes up against Sledge for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship? I think I know who Lucas is voting for on this one.
This is a really hard one for me. Johnny, you talked earlier about a flip 'em. This is tough. I honestly don't know. I can't make my mind up because I know how tough Sledge is. I know what a competitor he is, and I know how vicious and ruthless he can be. David Drake is different. He's not human. He is he's an entity at this point. Nothing can get to him. We've seen very little get to him. I don't know, John. I don't.
You know, Johnny, you say that, yeah, you know who I'm going for. Obviously, you know who I'm going for. But who I'm going for and who I think might win is two different things. And I want and I hope and I'm with every fiber in my being, I hope that Sledge can overcome this monster. But I don't know that he can. I don't know that anybody can, and I say this with knowing what David Drake is capable of. There's something not human about the guy, and I don't know if Sledge can get his mean and sadistic as we've ever seen him, I still don't know if that's going to be enough. We'll see. I hope so, but like Coastal said, I don't know.
All right. I don't think I missed any matches.
I think that's it.
I think I covered everything. We got 8 huge matches on the card right now. So, that is our predictions for Recharge. Reignited, we will have the same predictions, although you will probably be getting predictions from myself and Marky Pins on Thursday. So you get a whole new separate side of predictions going into Saturday. So yeah, this Thursday, Ignition, second round of the Grand Prix. And then from there, boy, oh boy, are you guys in for a treat this weekend. Before we go, any final thoughts, boys? Because I don't think I'll be seeing at least Coastal till Sunday and Lucas probably not till next Tuesday.
Hold on. This is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to rest up tomorrow as much as I can after I get out of work, and then it's going to be on full blast starting Thursday all the way through Sunday. So it's going to be just a huge weekend. If you are in the Denver area, try to get to every event. There's no excuse not to be to the charge tapings because it's absolutely free. You got to be there at the Wimmer on Saturday for Never Broken. You will not be able to see any of the Rumble at the Loud House if you are not there, because even though we will be taping some of it, it will not be streamed. So you guys, if you want to see it, you have to be there as well. So try to get to as many events. There's 4 opportunities to watch Rocky Mountain Pro action this week. So at least come to one of them.
And if you can't go to Never Broken, remember it's going to be live streamed on Fite TV starting at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, I think it's $12.99. Go over to the Fite link at the bottom of the description. Click the link, send you right over to the Rocky Mountain Pro page. Click the page again, hit the order button, and just pay the $12.99 for the pay-per-view, and you will be all set. And not only that, you will have that pay-per-view for life as well. So you get to watch it over and over and over and over and over again after the fact. So, all right. I think that's going to conclude Dudes and Belts Recharge for tonight. So, let's get everything squared away here. I don't really see any viewership over on Twitch, so I think we might cut everything all at the same time.
I would, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all you guys watching, again, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't hit that like button yet, please do that. Please leave a comment at the bottom of the video as well, so that it helps us and Rocky Mountain Pro with the algorithm here. We're currently growing at a pretty good rate here on the YouTube channel, and you want to keep that going. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss any shows or any content that is uploaded here on the Rocky Mountain Pro YouTube channel. And we will going to be signing off for the night. So for myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Coastal Crusader, and Lucas Bradwell, we will see you guys on Thursday for Ignition at 6:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where you will have Lucas on commentary, calling the action of the second round of the Grand Prix. And you will also have myself, Marky Pins, and possibly Coastal Crusader if he gets out early, for Dudes and Belts Reignited. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, and we will see you on the next one.